Unearthed from the depths of history, a name rings out, echoing across the halls of science with a weight that few can match. That name is Marie Curie. A two-time Nobel laureate, she wasn't just a scientist, she was an enigma, a force to be reckoned with, a pioneer. Yet, beyond the textbooks and beyond the known accolades, there lies a story. A story that has been whispered about in hushed tones among physicists and historians for years. This isn't just about radium or polonium, it's about notes, scribbled, hurried, sometimes faint but packed with potential power beyond imagination. When you think of Marie Curie, what comes to mind? Perhaps it's her iconic image, working tirelessly by the dim glow of radioactive materials. Maybe it's her groundbreaking work that changed the landscape of medical science and physics. Or, for some, it might be the tragic tale of a genius who was quite literally consumed by her passion, with the very discoveries that brought her fame also leading to her demise. But beneath this facade of academic prowess and tragic romance, lies another layer. For years, there have been murmurs, whispers that Curie's work was far from finished. That somewhere within her many writings, there's more to be uncovered. More that could, once again, redefine our understanding of the world. And central to these whispers are her notes. You see, Marie Curie was meticulous. She lived in an era where every observation, every experiment, was manually logged. There were no computers or digital cameras. Instead, there was ink and paper. And passion. Lots of it. Curie would often spend hours, well into the night, documenting her findings. And these weren't just routine observations. Given her track record, it's safe to say that every word she penned had purpose, had meaning. Every diagram, every equation, meticulously noted down, was a piece of a puzzle she was trying to solve. But there was a challenge. The very elements she discovered, the very materials she worked with, were highly radioactive. They glowed with an eerie beauty, yes, but they also emitted rays that, over prolonged exposure, could be lethal. And as she wrote, these radioactive materials imbued their energy onto the paper, onto the ink. Over time, her notes became not just repositories of knowledge but also objects of immense radioactivity. Imagine the dilemma. Here you have notes, potentially holding secrets of the universe, yet too dangerous to be perused. For the longest time, these notes were locked away. A treasure trove of knowledge, tantalizingly close, yet just out of reach. But as with all things, time brings change. In our modern era, technology has advanced leaps and bounds. What was once deemed impossible is now routine. And this brings us back to Curie's notes. Recently, with breakthroughs in handling and studying radioactive materials, scientists and researchers found a way to safely explore the contents of these notes. And as they did, the initial revelations were nothing short of astonishing. But why now? Why did it take us so long to turn our attention to these papers? Well, the world had moved on. Nuclear science had evolved, and the narrative had been written. Marie Curie had made her monumental contributions, and that chapter was seemingly closed. But history, especially that of science, has a way of circling back, of reminding us that there's always more to learn, more to uncover. In this episode, we journey deep into this enigma. We retrace the steps of this pioneering woman, delve into her mind, and explore the power of her notes. And in doing so, we might just stumble upon a revelation, a discovery that could once again change the course of science. As we embark on this journey, remember, science isn't just about cold, hard facts. It's about passion, curiosity, and the relentless pursuit of knowledge. And who better to guide us than Madame Curie herself? Through her notes, she might just be speaking to us, offering clues, guiding our way. So, buckle up, dear listener. We're about to embark on a quest, one that bridges the past and the present. A journey where we'll learn, explore, and perhaps, just perhaps, redefine the very fabric of our understanding. Marie Curie's legacy awaits, and we're about to dive right in. Marie Curie's notes weren't just scientific logs. They were, in many ways, her personal diaries. Her entries, while primarily scientific, also captured her thought process, her doubts, her eureka moments, and even her dreams. They were a testament to a brilliant mind at work, always questioning, always pushing the boundaries. And it's no surprise that, as scientists began to peer into these pages, conspiracies and legends began to take shape. One such legend that has persisted for years is the Curie Codex. It's said that within her extensive writings, Marie Curie had left a series of clues, leading to a groundbreaking nuclear discovery. A discovery that was either so ahead of its time or so dangerous that she chose to veil it in mystery. This wasn't just a fantastical idea propagated by fringe conspiracy theorists, even some in the scientific community whispered about the potential of the Curie Codex. The first inklings of something extraordinary within the notes came from an unexpected source: the patterns of radioactivity. Now, you might think, of course, they were radioactive. She worked with radioactive materials. But this was different. The radiation seemed concentrated in very specific sections, around very specific entries. It was almost as if these sections held something more than just her routine observations. As researchers began to decipher these specific sections, they were met with both awe and confusion. They were not your typical scientific entries. Instead, they read like riddles or cryptic puzzles. One such entry described an element unseen, but its power felt. Another spoke of rays that unveil, not destroy. While these might seem cryptic, for those versed in nuclear physics, the implications were tantalizing. One of the notes had a sketch. It wasn't just any sketch, but a depiction of a structure, quite reminiscent of what we now know as the atomic structure. But there were anomalies. Extra orbits, particles whose placement defied current understanding, and references to forces that are not part of contemporary nuclear theory. To the uninitiated, it might seem like a random drawing. But to those in the know, it was a revolutionary concept. It proposed a different understanding of atomic energy, suggesting there might be ways to harness nuclear power that we hadn't even considered. If this was indeed what Marie Curie had discovered, it was not just groundbreaking, it was earth-shattering. And then, as if to add fuel to the fire of excitement, there were her references to the key. Multiple notes ended with this mysterious term. The key lies in the unseen, one note read. Another said, to unlock the true power, one must find the key. But what was this key? Was it a literal key? A metaphorical concept? Or perhaps a missing element or particle that we were yet to discover? The more the scientific community delved into these notes, the more they became convinced that Marie Curie had stumbled onto something monumental. Something that she perhaps chose not to share openly, either for fear of its implications or because she believed the world wasn't ready for it. But, as with any great mystery, with discovery comes skepticism. There were those in the scientific community who believed that these were mere musings of a genius mind, not necessarily rooted in factual findings. They argued that, had she truly found something so revolutionary, she would have shared it with her peers. After all, Marie Curie was not one to shy away from groundbreaking revelations, having already turned the world of science on its head multiple times. Yet, the allure of the Curie Codex was too strong to be dismissed. The potential implications of her hidden discovery were too vast to be ignored. If true, it could redefine our understanding of nuclear energy, offering solutions to some of the biggest challenges of our time, from clean energy sources to groundbreaking medical treatments. The world was now divided. There were the believers, who saw the Curie Codex as the next big scientific frontier, and the skeptics, who viewed it as a wild goose chase. But both sides agreed on one thing: these notes, radioactive and cryptic as they were, held secrets. Secrets that begged to be unraveled. As we venture deeper into the heart of this mystery, the plot thickens. The search for the key becomes not just a scientific endeavor but a race against time, as the world grapples with energy crises and environmental challenges. What if the answers lie in the past? What if Marie Curie, in her infinite wisdom, had already paved a path for us? A path waiting to be discovered, one note at a time. With the world now captivated by the potential of the Curie Codex, teams of scientists, historians, and even cryptographers came together, trying to decipher the secrets hidden within Marie Curie's notes. Universities, private institutions, and even independent enthusiasts hoped to be the first to unlock the mystery. In many ways, it had become the scientific equivalent of the hunt for the Holy Grail. And at the center of this frenzied search was Dr. Émilie Léon, a nuclear physicist with a passion for historical mysteries. While many sought fame or potential groundbreaking discoveries, Dr. Léon was driven by a personal connection. Her great-grandmother had been a close aide to Marie Curie, assisting in some of her experiments. Dr. Léon had grown up with tales of Curie's brilliance and determination. So, for her, this was more than just a scientific endeavor. It was a journey to reconnect with her family's past and, perhaps, to continue Curie's legacy. As she pored over the notes, Dr. Léon became particularly intrigued by the recurring references to the key. She believed that Curie wasn't just hinting at a new element or a different atomic model, but perhaps an entirely new methodology or apparatus. An apparatus that might have been lost to time, or maybe it was something that Curie had conceptualized but never actually built. As weeks turned into months, Dr. Léon and her team began to identify patterns. Certain symbols and phrases repeated across different sections of the notes. Using these as a guide, they began reconstructing what they believed was a schematic. A design that seemed oddly reminiscent of an experimental reactor, but with components that seemed, out of place, almost futuristic. But the real breakthrough came when Dr. Léon stumbled upon an old photograph among her great-grandmother's possessions. It showed a younger Marie Curie in her lab, standing next to a strange machine. One that bore an uncanny resemblance to the schematic they had just pieced together. The photo had scribbles at the back, the dawn of a new era. Could this be the key Curie kept referring to? This photograph reignited the race. Dr. Léon's discovery made headlines, prompting other researchers to intensify their efforts. The scientific community was abuzz with theories and speculations. Was it possible that Marie Curie had actually built a prototype of this revolutionary reactor? And if so, where was it now? Dr. Léon, using her personal connection, began tracing her great-grandmother's journals and correspondences from that era. What she uncovered was a tale of intrigue and possibly espionage. Letters hinted at concerns about the safety and implications of such a discovery. There were mentions of foreign interests keeping tabs on Curie's work and even suggestions that the prototype reactor was moved to a safer location. The more Dr. Léon delved into this mystery, the more she realized that the Curie Codex wasn't just about a scientific discovery. It was a story of power, geopolitics, and the race to control a potentially world-altering technology. Marie Curie, it seemed, was not just a scientist, but also a guardian of a power that she believed the world wasn't ready to wield. As news of these developments spread, there was a growing sense of urgency. The world was on the brink of a new era in nuclear energy. Clean, limitless energy was within reach. But it was also a race against time. These notes, already compromised by radiation, were deteriorating. The very secrets they held were at risk of being lost forever. But just as things seemed to be coming together, another twist in the tale emerged. A letter, penned by Marie Curie herself, addressed to Dr. Léon's great-grandmother. In it, Curie wrote, "The world is not ready for the power of the key. It is a gift and a curse. We must protect it until the world learns the value of responsibility." This raised a moral dilemma. Even if the secrets of the Curie Codex were unlocked, should they be shared with the world? Or, as Marie Curie herself believed, were they too dangerous in the wrong hands? The answers to these questions remained elusive, but one thing was clear: Marie Curie's legacy was far from over. Her notes, her discoveries, and the mysteries they held were now the center of a global quest. A quest that promised to reshape the very fabric of our understanding of nuclear energy and the forces that bind the universe. The global quest was in full swing, but Dr. Léon had a significant lead. With Marie Curie's personal letter in hand, she believed there was a real location, a hidden chamber or laboratory, where Curie might have stored the mysterious apparatus and further notes that could be the final piece of this nuclear puzzle. The letter was cryptic, mentioning a place where the radium glow meets nature's embrace, leading many to theorize about its possible location. Could it be somewhere in the Jura Mountains, where Curie often went for solace and reflection? Or perhaps somewhere closer to her Parisian home, tucked away from prying eyes? The next clue was found within the intricate details of the notes. Upon closer examination, Dr. Léon noticed tiny symbols, almost invisible to the naked eye, dotting the margins. Each symbol correlated to an element on the periodic table. When pieced together, they formed a sequence: polonium, radium, thorium. Elements Curie had closely worked with. But they weren't just random. Dr. Léon believed they were pointing towards something, possibly geographic coordinates or a chemical formula. Piecing together these symbols with snippets from her great-grandmother's diaries, Dr. Léon speculated that there existed a secret laboratory, likely underground, designed by Curie as a sanctuary for her most dangerous and revolutionary experiments. A place where she could work without fear of interference or espionage. Following the hunch and using the elemental clues, Dr. Léon embarked on a journey that took her to a secluded part of the French countryside. Here, amidst dense woods and ancient rock formations, she discovered the entrance to what appeared to be an abandoned mine. But this was no ordinary mine. Embedded on the entrance was the unmistakable symbol of the Curie family. This had to be it. Descending into the depths of the earth, the atmosphere grew colder, the silence more profound. But there, hidden away from the world, Dr. Léon found it, a vast, cavernous laboratory, its walls lined with lead to prevent radiation leakage. Shelves filled with dusty old vials, equipment, and in the center, covered in a layer of dust, was the machine from the photograph, untouched by time. Around the machine were further notes, diagrams, and journals. Detailed accounts of experiments and outcomes. And most startling of all, a sealed container, bearing a label with a single word: Elysium. The contents of the container were a mystery. Was this a new element, even more potent than radium? Or perhaps a compound that Curie had synthesized, harnessing unprecedented levels of energy? News of Dr. Léon's discovery spread like wildfire. The world watched with bated breath as experts descended upon the secret lab, eager to uncover its secrets. As they began to analyze the contents of Elysium, initial reports suggested that it was a compound with an energy density never seen before. It had the potential to revolutionize the energy industry, providing a near-infinite source of power without the dangerous byproducts of conventional nuclear reactors. But with great power comes great responsibility. The discovery reignited debates about the ethics of nuclear power, its potential for misuse, and the dangers of uncontrolled experimentation. Conspiracy theories abounded. Was there a secret society or organization that had known about this all along? Were world governments already racing to replicate Elysium for their own purposes? While the scientific community grappled with the implications of the find, Dr. Léon found herself at a personal crossroads. The weight of Marie Curie's words weighed heavily on her. The world is not ready for the power of the key. To share or to safeguard? To advance science or to protect humanity from its own potential for self-destruction? The dilemmas posed by the Curie Codex were not merely scientific, but profoundly philosophical and ethical. And as Dr. Léon stood in the heart of Curie's secret labyrinth, the shadows of the past seemed to whisper, urging caution, wisdom, and an understanding that some discoveries, no matter how groundbreaking, come with a responsibility that transcends time and space. The journey had revealed more than just a hidden chamber or a new element. It had unveiled the very soul of scientific exploration and the eternal dance between progress and prudence. The revelation of the mysterious compound, Elysium, in Marie Curie's secret lab catapulted the discovery into the realm of legendary scientific breakthroughs. As the global community debated, Dr. Léon became the torchbearer of a discovery that could either elevate humanity or become its undoing. Delving into the pages of Curie's journals surrounding Elysium, it became clear that Curie had understood its vast potential, and equally its perils. In her words, Elysium is not just a compound, but a testament to the power held within the smallest fragments of our universe. With it, we touch the divine, but also dance at the edge of the abyss. Dr. Léon was determined to ensure that Elysium was neither weaponized nor misused for unchecked corporate greed. She formed a global coalition of scientists, ethicists, and policymakers to study and ethically distribute the benefits of the compound. But, as with all great discoveries, the race to replicate and control Elysium had already begun. Intelligence reports suggested that shadowy conglomerates were desperate to get their hands on the formula. There were whispers of espionage, of scientists going missing, and of attempts to break into the Curie labyrinth. Amid this swirling maelstrom of intrigue, the world was hungry for more details. What exactly was Elysium? How was it formed? What made it so potent? According to Curie's notes, Elysium was a result of fusing radium with another, at the time, unidentified element under extreme conditions. The result was a compound that emitted a steady, almost inexhaustible stream of energy. It was, in many ways, the holy grail of clean energy. A small bead of Elysium could power an entire city for years. Yet, it wasn't just the energy potential that was revolutionary. Curie believed that Elysium might be a bridge to understanding deeper cosmic truths. Her notes alluded to experiments where she observed the compound interacting with electromagnetic fields in ways that suggested the manipulation of time and space on a minuscule scale. This was not just a new source of energy, it might be a key to understanding the very fabric of the universe. But with every line of wonder in Curie's journals, there was also a note of caution. Elysium, if not handled correctly, could be volatile. Its immense energy, if released suddenly, could be catastrophic. Furthermore, in the wrong hands, it could easily become the ultimate weapon or tool of oppression. Curie's hesitance to share her discovery with the world now made haunting sense to Dr. Léon. The coalition initiated by Dr. Léon became the first line of defense against potential misuse. Nations around the world were petitioned to recognize Elysium as a global heritage, not to be weaponized or monopolized. The United Nations convened special sessions to discuss its implications. However, the true climax of our story is not in boardrooms or in global summits. It's in the very essence of human nature. For, as the world grappled with the power of Elysium, individuals everywhere began to reflect on the nature of power and progress. Was humanity truly ready to wield such might? Did we possess the collective wisdom to ensure Elysium would be a boon, not a bane? Educational institutions incorporated ethical science courses, inspired by the Curie discovery. Vigils were held worldwide, not just in awe of the compound, but in hope that humanity would rise to the occasion. The saga also changed Dr. Léon's life indelibly. No longer just a historian, she became an ambassador for ethical science. Her message was clear: science without conscience is but a path to our own ruin. We must tread with care, with wisdom, and with a heart attuned to the greater good. The tale of Marie Curie's lost notes, the secret lab, and the discovery of Elysium is not just a thrilling adventure but a timely reminder. In an era of rapid technological advancements, we must pause and ponder the ethical dimensions of our quests. For in the dance of progress, the steps we choose determine not just our path but the fate of generations to come. As we conclude this incredible journey, we're left with Marie Curie's own words: in science, we must be interested in things, not in persons. Yet, the story of Elysium shows that while science may be about things, its true purpose, its soul, is intrinsically linked to the persons who wield it and the choices they make. And so, as the sun sets on the Curie labyrinth, the glow of Elysium stands as a beacon, not just of limitless power but of hope, responsibility, and the undying spirit of inquiry.